So in this video, we're going to revise how to simplify algebraic expressions. So it's most likely going to be questions involving addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of algebraic terms. Starting with addition and subtraction, you guys can see in the first concept box there, you can only add or subtract like terms. Let's get right into the next example here. So number 2a, so let's write down part A. We've got 3x minus 4y minus 5x minus y. So the first thing here to recognize, I might just zoom in a bit more, is you can only add or subtract your like terms. Now, maybe it's been a while since we've done this, so I'm going to do an additional line of working out that we generally don't do in a test, but it might help the majority of you guys to understand, is you might just want to reorder your terms so that your like terms are next to each other, so it's visually easier to see how to work with. So for instance, I'm going to keep the 3x exactly as it is, but I notice that this term here, our third term, negative 5x, is a like term to x because they both have the x's in there. So I'm going to move the negative 5x into the second spot, and then I'm just going to rewrite everything exactly as it is. So the negative 4y goes into the third spot, negative y remains in the fourth spot. Just a quick thing that I want to mention here, notice that whatever plus or minus sign that you have there, it always belongs to the term immediately afterwards. So when I move the 5x across, that minus follows that 5x, right? So we've got a negative 5x sitting in that second spot. Now that our like terms, the x's are next to each other and the y's are next to each other, we can go ahead and simplify, right? So 3x minus 5x is negative 2x. And if you have negative 4y and minusing one more, you're going to have negative 5 of those y's. So that's going to be our answer for there. Let's move across for part B. We'll do part B just underneath here. So we've got an x squared minus 5xy minus 3yx minus 5x squared. So we've got 4 terms in this expression. And once again, I'm just going to do this intermediate step where I'm just going to rearrange. So we're going to put the x squared and the negative 5x squared next to each other because the x squareds are my like terms. And then I'm going to go negative 5xy. Now this is interesting, right? So this one over here, just because there's a y first followed by an x doesn't mean it's not the same like term as that one there. So if anything, I kind of just rewrite them in alphabetical order because it's easier to visually see as negative 3xy. So they are in fact like terms. Now if you have an x squared and you're minusing 5x squared, you're going to have negative 4x squared. And if you have negative 5xy's and you're minusing 3 more xy's, you're going to have minus 8xy. Okay, so that first 2 example there is just to illustrate how you would add and subtract, but make sure you can only work with those like terms. Now the next one over here, we're going to multiply and divide terms, and you don't have to worry about your, so let me just zoom out so you can see that a bit easier. You don't have to worry too much about your like terms, right? You just multiply the numbers first or divide the numbers first, and then you apply the index laws to the pronumerals. So let's zoom in for 3a. All right, so let's rewrite the question. So for part A, we've got a negative 4x times 3y times 3x. So work with the numbers first. Negative 4 times 3, negative 12. Times 3 more is negative 36. We've got an x here that we're multiplying with another x at the back there, so that will be x squared. There's only one y there, so we'll have one y as our answer. Done. Okay. Part B, let's move across a little bit, right? We've got a fraction over here. I might just rewrite the question. 6x cubed y all over 18x y squared. And when they have it like a fraction like this, it's kind of nice. Just work with the numbers, right? So 6 over 18 is the same thing as 1 over 3, right? So that's a third. X cubed divided by x, we can use our index laws because division means we subtract the powers. So it will be x squared remaining on the top, okay? Now, when we have a situation where for the y, we've got y divided by y squared, you can sort of think of it as them crossing each other out, yeah? So we can have one y crossing out with one of those y's, so we're going to have a y remaining on the very, very bottom, okay? Tidying it up, it will just be x squared all over 3y as an answer. So hopefully that was a quick sort of crash course simplifying algebraic expressions. We looked at addition and subtraction. We ended with multiplication and division. Hey everybody, if this video helped you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It supports the channel and helps me keep making more free content for you. I'll see you guys next time.